One of the most profound things that I've learned in my teaching of people over the last decade is that almost everything out there is a projection. It is a projection of what we're experiencing on the inside. And one way of describing that is when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that can be very, very true for a lot of people, for example, who have left treatment, left a wellness experience and gone home and said to people in the home, guys, you can stop mucking about now. Please stop being so nice. I really don't need you to be anything other than yourselves. Only to have the family say, but we're not putting anything on. We have always been like this. And the person who had to go through a spiritual awakening has gone home to something completely different in one aspect, and nothing has changed except themselves. So change can be really, really profound. And Rumi said, we are the mirror as well as the face in it. We are tasting the taste of this eternity in a minute. And that is exactly how the yin and yang of life tend to go. You know, people talk about projection in terms of how we look at a movie. We see a 2D image on a screen, and we could fall in love with those characters far more than we fall in love with the real ones in our lives. The family, for example, of the person who went home and saw that everything changed and felt the love and the warmth of people that was there all along, that she could never feel inside, although she yearned for it. So there's a poem by Valerie Cox. It is called The Cookie Thief, and it is about projection and about us making egoic demands on ourselves where we perceive and get the wrong picture in the end. It is called The Cookie Thief by Valerie Cox. A woman was sitting at an airport one night with several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shops, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see that the man sitting beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag in between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. So she munched the cookies and watched the clock as the gutsy cookie thief diminished her stock. She was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked by, thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I'd blacken his eye. With each cookie she took, he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered what he would do. With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her the half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and thought, oh, brother, this guy has some nerve, and he's also so rude. Why he didn't even show any gratitude. She had never known when she had been so galled, and sighed relief when her flight was called. She gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at the thieving ingrate. She boarded the plane and sank in her seat. Then she sought her book, which was almost complete. As she reached in her baggage, she gasped with surprise. There was her bag of cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she moaned in despair. The others were his, and he tried to share. Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was the rude one, the ingrate, the thief. So how often in life have we been utterly convinced of someone else's wrongdoing? It's led to wars, rumors of wars, untold quantities of divorce and separation and loss. So, it is really looking at the power of your mind and seeing that once you have learned to go inside and open yourself up for answers, you'll experience a 3D image that you can actually fall in love with. And obviously 3D being reality, it is coming to know that we can, whatever we think we see on the outside is a projection of our own mind.